This week on Country Music Junkies, we have a new artist to introduce you to. I am on the phone with Curtis Brawley. Curtis, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, you've been incredibly busy lately with the release of your current EP, All About the Ride, and your new single, Sooner or Later. So let's kind of chat about where things are at now and how things are going.
Okay, yeah, we've been super busy here lately. The brand new single, it's the third single released off of the EP All About the Ride. It's titled Sooner or Later, and I did that with the American Idol alumni Kimberly Caldwell.
Excellent.
I'll leave here just in 2 days for the radio tour to promote it.
Excellent. That is very cool. Now, what brought you and Kimberly together for this single?
Well, ironically enough, Kimberly and I grew up in the same town. When we were little kids, we used to tour around the greater Houston, Texas area and perform at all of the jamborees around Texas, and we would do some songs together occasionally, and we were always seemed like we ended up at the same places all the time. So we became childhood friends, and then as we grew older, we kind of grew apart, and the label had approached me about recording this song Sooner or Later and said, however, it's a duet. We haven't really thought of anyone in particular for you to sing it with, but we're working on that. And I don't know, all of a sudden I hadn't spoken to Kimberly in many years, but she just kind of popped into my head as an option because she had done American Idol and I had followed her career through that. And so the label reached out to her, and sure enough, it's like a little reunion between friends, and we got together, and now we're working together again.
That's perfect. That is very cool and a nice story as well. Tell people about the single. What can people expect to hear from it?
Well, it's a pretty cool concept in the fact that I've got a pretty, I would say, modern country voice, and she has a very pop rock edgy voice, so everybody from the get-go was like, you sure this is going to work? You guys have completely two different vocal styles, and I said, I think it will come together nicely. It'll be something, different, and we've got a good chemistry and relationship with one another, and it did. She's got a great rough edge to it, and when her verse comes to play in the song, I think the edginess to her voice plays out really well with the character that she's singing about.
That's very cool. Excellent. Well, fans, if you want to check that out, you can head to curtisbrawley.com and check it out. Now, Curtis, what can fans expect to hear from the current EP, All About the Ride? Obviously, this most recent single is a duet. What else can they expect to hear from it?
Well, I've got a couple more in my hat that's on the EP that I hope to have out as singles after this one, and one is what I call a power ballad. It's one of the things that I love to perform is ballads, and in fact, it's every time I do a show and start putting a set list together, everybody's like, "You got to do more fast songs." I know you love to sing ballads, but we need more fast songs. And I get that from radio as well. So, but there's a power ballad on the EP, which is absolutely my favorite song that we did. It's called Anywhere With You, and I hope to have that out for everybody in the near future. But and then All About the Ride, the title track, is a really fun, fast song that just really stresses the importance of living your life the way you want to, and going out and expecting all the twists and turns and the battles that you're going to be up against. But have no fear, have fun with it, because after all, life is all about the ride. And
excellent.
It kind of told a story of, really tells the story of my life in pursuing music. You just gotta bend when the wind blows and keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. That is exactly what you got to do. That is really cool. Well, again, fans, you can head to curtisbrawley.com for more information about not only Curtis, but his music. And Curtis, now, you talked about your sound in that kind of modern country. Do you have any country artists that you really use as your influences in your sound?
Man, I have so many artists that are great influences on me, from artists that I followed growing up, like Reba McEntire, Clay Walker, Garth Brooks. Those three would probably be the top of my list as I grew up, really started to kind of hone how I wanted to be a performer. And then from today's modern country, I would probably have to point towards the fairly new face to the industry, Chase Bryant, and Hunter Hayes. They are really good, energetic performers, which is always something that's important to me. And they have a great style that's not like anyone else that I really enjoy.
There you go. Well, those are two great artists, and it's cool that you can pull from not only their performance but also their style. Now, you touched upon performing, and I know that you're heading out to do a radio tour, so that's usually a little bit more private. But when you are on stage performing for a crowd, what can fans expect from that?
Well, we always strive to bring what I call bring a music video to life. We try and have a stage show that will not only have me up there singing, but, have video play and lighting and a set and props that will kind of help tell the story of the song. I really enjoy doing that, and I think that probably goes back to me being really inspired by Reba in her early days. And
right.
She always had amazing stage shows and really brought music videos to life on stage. So we always try to do that. I tend to invite the crowd, tons of crowd up on stage with me, and we'll all have a party and dance together on stage. And I just want everybody to leave having a good time, not to think more so that they went to a concert, but they went to a party, and they're, leave them leaving wanting more.
That's excellent. Very, very cool. Now, you said you're heading out on the radio tour. That's what is next for you. But beyond the radio tour, what's going on?
Well, we will, here in the next few months, we will start working on another music video to follow some songs that we'll release after the current single that we're out promoting. And then after the first of the year, we're going to start a tour around the U.S., doing performances and shows and concerts around the U.S. to continue promoting the current EP that's out. So we're going to spend the next couple of months just traveling. We've got about a 12-state tour that we're doing for radio. And then we're going to take the Christmas holidays off, and as soon as New Year's passes, we'll hit the streets again and really get out there. And now it'll be all about the listeners and getting out and doing some shows for them.
Well, that's great. Now, again, fans, head to CurtisBrawley.com for more information about that, and be on the lookout for some tour dates. You never know, he may be coming to a town near you. Curtis, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Really appreciate it, and best of luck with the new single sooner or later.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you having me on.